I think we started the game quite well. Dominated with very good football actions. But unfortunately, we were punished from a set piece, and I think it was even their first corner kick. And I was aware that they can be very dangerous on set pieces. I think we dealt with the first ball quite well, but we were caught in the second play. And we came back after half time with the right energy and intensity to equalize. And I think in that moment, in that spell, we created 4 very good chances. And one of them, I don't even know how it did not go into the net, because I think at any given day, you can ask the same player to try and miss, he will score. It would be very difficult to miss. So it's football, we must accept. Then once they got a red card, I think our immaturity started to show. Played a lot of unnecessary long balls. We were not as aggressive and as intense as I expected, which is why I changed both fullbacks, because I wanted to have fresher legs in the wide channels, because I thought because they were dropping and centering, they were giving us a lot of latitude in the wide channels, and I did believe that if we could get behind them a lot, we could create something. We had that spell which gave us some good moments, but immediately after that, our energy was very low, and we started to play the game that they wanted to play, a game with a lot of stoppages and delays, because they know Darren is very good on penalties. And I tried to push the team to try and score within the game, but unfortunately it did not happen. In the latter stages of the game, I think in the last minute of optional time, I think they should have had a penalty, because I think Manqoba was a bit late and he fouled the opponent. Personally, that's when I knew that this thing might not go our way, because we should not have gone to the penalties if the referees had seen what had happened, because in my opinion, he was late and he kicked the opponent. And that was how I can summarize the game. But I do believe we played well, but not well enough if we did not win the match.
Can I just ask you about penalties? The record now for errors, I didn't check it 100% myself, but you've lost 8 of the last 9 or something like that. Is there something that one can lay at the feet of the coaches, yourself, and those who've come before you? Or is that just the so-called lottery of the day?
I would say it's a lottery, to be honest, because the 2 penalty shootouts that I've gone to, the people that have missed and the people that predominantly score. In the previous ones, in the Carling, I think Theron missed, and Theron is very good on penalties. Manqoba missed, and Manqoba is normally very good on penalties. Today, with Kumalo, one of our best penalty takers. In fact, he could have been number 1, but Makwele asked to take the number 1 penalty, and we gave it to him, because he's very good on penalties. And Gianni, very unfortunate, because in training, he's always been that player that scores. And I always said to him, I will see this penalty of yours when there are spectators, because you always score in training, but where I'm sitting, I still want to see it when it's under pressure of the fans outside and everybody else. And he was unfortunate, to be honest, because the goalkeeper went the wrong way, but I think he just took it too far to the upright. And I wouldn't say it was a bad penalty, he was just unfortunate.
Coach Hadlab, on the first round of this tournament, you spoke about the importance of teams qualifying for CAF games, CAF competitions. Amatima said we Nedbank, Amatima Ngati, akajwayele leso stage. Mhlambe ukubaleka just ukugcizelela ukubaleka kokudlala nemidlalo yase-Afrika for South African football, and ukukhula kwamanye amaqembu angajwayele nokuthi mhlambe what can they gain from that?
In my opinion, I think every team in South Africa should aspire to go to these inter-club competitions, because one, the growth and development of the players can be seen clearly. You can look at Stellenbosch now. They are not the team that they were before. They fight a little bit more, they run a little bit more, they are used to conditions that can be unfair, but you still have to fight and get a result. And that on its own should be sufficient as a development pipeline of the players, because if we have dreams that our players should play in the national teams, they should have tested this in the inter-club competitions, what happens when you go outside the country. Because if you were to look at my team at Arrows, I doubt that my South African players have been outside the country. I doubt. I'm not saying that is the case, but I really have serious doubts in that space. So you want players to gain that experience, and besides, man, financially it's incomparable to the PSL. I hear people say, "Hey, you spend a lot of money in traveling," but if you were to take half the money you get when you play, when you win the Nedbank Cup, and dedicate that money towards going to Africa and getting into the group stages. Just getting into the group stages in Africa, where you will get there after 2 matches away and 2 matches at home. Just by getting there, you already stand a chance of having more money than what you would get in the Nedbank Cup. And already it's a big incentive. And when you win the Confederations Cup, you probably have won all the trophies in South Africa, based on the prize money that you get there. So for me, I would always encourage this solely as a development project for the team and the players, and also to benefit from the financial incentives that you can get in the Confederations Cup and the Champions League. Because I think a lot of people are too caught in this thing of, hey, you spend a lot of money when you go to Africa, but if you were to check the returns, because I'm making it simple for you to say, to qualify for the group stages, you just need to play 2 away matches, which would be less than 2 million if you travel economy, and there's no force that you should hire a charter flight. Once you get into the group, you might as well win it. You only have 3 games away, and you've got 3 games at home. So how much is that compared to if you were to qualify and go through the group stages and go to the quarterfinal there? Then if you look at the financial side of it, it's already by far better than what you would fight for in South Africa. And sometimes the prelims are not as hard as you may think. And to get out of the group, I don't think it's very difficult.
Thank you, colleagues.
You look disappointed for when that goal came from Durban City. I think your emphasis was no one cut across and then physical just finish off. When also no one was marking it.
Yeah, I was very disappointed there, because it's an area that we have worked very hard on, because their strength is counter-attacks with the 2 wingers, Maseko and Makawan, and Mukwena also is doing very well as a false 9. But their main threat is set pieces, because when you've got Kaba, who is very strong as a fullback, you've got the 2 centre backs, both Nanana and Kiz are very strong in the air. And if Kamatuka is playing, he may not look very tall, but he's very strong on set pieces. So that is one of their biggest strengths, because their delivery is also very good. So that was my disappointment, because I knew that if we don't give a lot of such set pieces and we force the game into the opposition half, we would do better. But unfortunately, we considered from that situation.
Coach, just going forward now in the season, obviously Arrows is one of the most talked about teams in the country in terms of the exciting football that you guys play. Now having exited the Nedbank Cup, what would you say is the way in which you guys want to finish the season now to justify the football that everyone has been talking about?
Now my wish is to finish inside the top 8, and I still believe it's not a far-fetched wish. I see my team having the capacity to do that.
Thank you so so much, colleagues. Thank you, coach.